Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I am a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 AM if you're in Australia, or 1 AM I believe if you're in the UK. I hope you guys and girls are well. Do remember, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page, because I upload all of my previous streams after the stream to Twitch. Mertbury Barbecue, you certainly are first. It's good to see you. And Sniper Girl, good to see you as well. Phil Does Just Chat is on. That's right. Phil Does Just Chat. No, Phil Does 3D. Sometimes. Most times. Phil does both. Wouldn't be a Phil stream without Phil rabbiting on for half an hour about anything and everything, would it? So, no, we are going to be doing 3D. We are working on the House in the Hollow game, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. Just type exclamation Steam in Twitch chat or click the graphic in my panels below my stream. I like that emote, Smurfery. Thank you, Smurfery. There you go. That's the link to go to the Steam store page if you would like to wishlist the game. Sniper Girl says, we'll try to watch today. Net has been acting up. Oh no! Because you said you were watching at 1080p yesterday. Crappy net, that's right. Boo. Remember though too, if you ever have problems watching the stream, because I do broadcast at 1080p, 60 frames a second, you can always transcode down, so you can go all the way down to 160p. I'll be a blurry mess, but hey, that might be a better thing. So do keep that in mind. If your net connections are a bit iffy, because I know that happens around the world, we do have transcoding on the stream, so you can always knock the quality down. All right, I'm just going to, again, grab a quick drink before I start. I just dripped water all in my lap. Great. Not open my keyboard. That was the important thing, though. Messy Phil. Messy Phil. Mowbray says, how did the crystal holder do jiggy go? Oh, yeah, we got it done. Let's have a look. Let's go to my Twitter page. Again, if you want to know more about me, you can go to phildoes3d.com. So my Twitch username, put a .com on the end. And we got it done. So there we go. Done and dusted. Mr. Squarepeg, hello to you as well. It's good to see you, Mr. Squarepeg. Do remember, if you do want to follow me on my Twitter page, you can do that. So if you go to phildoes3d.com, there's links to all my social media, including my art station. Sniper Girl says, yeah, don't think this will happen today. Catch you next stream. Can't even load the vid. Well, you have a good week, Sniper Girl. Sorry about your net, and I'll see you next week. If you can still see me. Bye, Sniper Girl. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Sniper Girl says, gotta love when the net just doesn't want to work. Mr. Squarepeg says, bye as well. Yes, we'll see you next week. You have a great week and weekend, Sniper Girl. And I hope your net improves. So, we worked on the Dragon Bowl yesterday. Today we're going to be working on a spiral staircase, which is going to go behind the bookcase in the bedroom. So again, my advice is if you want to play the game, you probably shouldn't watch the streams unless you're prepared for some spoilers. I do try and limit the amount of spoilers while I'm working, but you're going to find out things that other people that come to the game blind won't know. So just bear that in mind. So yeah, we're going to create a spiral staircase. So if I jump into Max, this is what we're going to be texturing up. So I'm going to UV map it in Rhizome and we're going to texture map it in Substance Painter. Spiral staircase, wooden spiral staircase. Okay. So remember too, if you've got any questions while I'm working, don't think you're going to be interrupting me. Feel free to ask in chat. If you just want to watch though, that's completely fine. Okay. UV mapping. I think that's where we're going to start. So we're going to make sure it's an edit poly, and it is. That's good. And we're going to send it over to Horizon. Now again, I use 3D Studio Max. We don't play favorites with 3D software. They're all very good. Actually, I did hear something interesting. Phil does just chat now. Apparently, you guys know that you can get a free 1-year license now from Autodesk if you're a student or a teacher. So you had to give them your email address and they would give you a free 1-year license. It used to be 3, but this year they changed it to 1. Well, apparently now Autodesk, in the past, people could use any email address at all to register for an educational version. Like you could use an email address or a Yahoo email address or anything like that. Well, Autodesk now are requiring proof that you are actually a student. So while the educational license is still there for 1 year, you can't use just any email address now. You must follow that up then with proof that you're actually enrolled in an approved educational institution. So just putting that out there for you guys to be aware of. Mr. Squarepeg said Autodesk Indie is now a thing, and it certainly is. So the Autodesk Indie license is really good value. It's $250 a year, which is great compared to what the normal price of subscribing to Autodesk software is. So bear that in mind. Even though you might lose, if you can't prove that you're actually a student, which is required now by Autodesk, you can buy the Indie license for $250 US a year. Now I know that's still, $250 US bucks, but compared to what you normally pay, it's still pretty good value. And you can use the Indie license for commercial work. The educational license, even though it's not restricted in any way, it's exactly the same as every other Autodesk product. You are not supposed to use it for commercial work. So yeah, the Indie license, if you're making stuff you want to sell, if you're a contractor or anything like that, is probably a better way to go anyway. But it's not available in every country. That's the other problem though with the Indie license. But I believe Autodesk are planning to expand that out to many more countries than at the moment. I think at the moment it's only like 4 or 5 countries. So, but Australia is one of those countries, which is where I am. Mr. Squarepeg says, so Maya Indie and 3D Studio Max Indie. That's right. That's with Maya and Max. See, the educational license allows you to use a whole lot of different types of software that Autodesk make, not just Max or Maya. And they still let you do it, but like I said, now they require that you actually show them proof that you're enrolled in an approved educational institution. So you can't just use any old email address now. Well, yeah, maybe you can, but you still have to follow that up with proof that you're actually enrolled. So I don't know, my feelings on that matter. I mean, that's Autodesk's business practices. They want to make sure that if you're using an educational version, you are actually a student, I guess. But remember, the Indie license, if you can get it in the country you live in. Mr. Squarepeg says, I'm at the Autodesk site, and it says official offer is only eligible to those based in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, or the US. 5 countries. There we go. I thought it was 5. I knew Australia was one of them. So yeah, if you are in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, or the US, look at getting the Indie license for $250 a year, because it is good value. But if you're a student, you can still get a free license for 1 year from Autodesk. Just email them, or I'm not sure of the procedure, but it'll be up on Autodesk's site. Just send them through proof that you're actually enrolled in an approved educational course. All right. So I believe do Maya still have the light version? I think the light LT version or whatever they called it, because I don't use Maya, I believe was always free. But don't quote me on that, because again, I don't use it, and the Max doesn't have an LT version. So anyway, those are your options. If you're if you're a student and you can prove you're a student, you get it for a year for free. If you can't do that, then look at the Indie license. If you're in one of those 5 countries where you can buy a license for $250 for a year. If you're neither of those, then you can trial it for 30 days, but then you're going to have to pay. But I'm just not sure with the Indie license. When Autodesk first started that, there was some sort of controversy whereby after a year, it renewed at the normal price of Max, which was like $1,600 US a year. So just be aware of that. I don't know if they've fixed that or not, but just keep an eye on your account. So I don't want you to think, I don't want you to spend $250 to buy an indie license and then after 12 months it auto-renews at $1,600. So just keep an eye on it. Mr. Squarepeg says, I'm just happy they are ditching the LT version for a proper indie version. Well, there you go. LT is $265 a year, Smurfberry says. It's cheaper to buy the indie license then. And you're not getting any restrictions because the LT version, I believe, of Maya, not everything that was in the full version you could do in the LT version. Like they reduced the amount of stuff you could do. Wasn't the same software. It was like a reduced version of the software. So if that's the case, then buy the indie license, because why would you spend $265 for hobbled software when you can spend $250 for the full version? $35 a month, man, that's expensive. Mr. Squarepeg says, yep, it's cheaper. So there you go, get the indie license. If you can, if you're in one of those countries. Smurfberry says, yeah, the indie license would make much more sense if it's available in your region, which is the big gotcha there. But I do know Autodesk are planning to expand the indie license to many more countries. So even if it's not in your country now, chances are good it will be soon. But this is Autodesk, so, who knows? Who knows? Let's send this model over to Ryzen. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because I've spoken about the educational version quite a few times on stream. Because if you're a student, it's a great way to get free software while you're learning, provided you don't use it commercially. And that's still the case, but you must prove that you're a student now. So, because they did, like I said, they used to give you a 3-year license as a student, but then they reduced that to 1 year. I guess they just want to make sure that they can make money off their software. I don't know. Autodesk is a huge company. I can't believe they can't make money from Macs without being really restricted, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? Now I'm just going to clean this up a little bit because it likes to put a lot of cuts, I've noticed, on the sides, and they're really not necessary. So I'm just going to go through and stitch a few of these up. We really only need 1 cut on the side, not 4. We'll leave the one at the back there. That's better. Let's try this one. Don't think this one's going to work. Nope. Nope. Again, this is a really weird piece of geometry for the software to try and UV map, so it is having a bit of a problem. Probably more cuts than I would like, and it hasn't quite done a great job. I might see if I can map those in Max. Yeah, it's having a real problem trying to UV map this. Which is annoying. Because I hate doing things by hand. If I can use the software to do it, I would much rather that. Yeah, we might leave this. We'll look at, I might UV map this in Max. Okay, let's go with this piece here. As well, the software is great and I love it. Sometimes it will have a problem with certain geometry. So. It's these swirly bits. It really hates these swirly bits. I think it is having a bit of a problem here. Let's just see what these other ones give us. Yeah, this is a better map, particularly through here, through the middle section. We're getting a bit of stretching down here. The UV map looks completely whack. Let's see if we can't do an optimize on it. Smurfberry says gross. Algorithms don't know how to handle swirls. No, they don't. That's the impression. What we can do though is we can come through and just help it along a little bit. We'll give it a hand. It's having a problem. So we'll see if we can't help it a bit. I knew this staircase was going to be an issue because it is quite the geometry is quite weird. So I'm just going to go through and do some cuts by hand. Let me just undo that. Let's get it to do a repack as we go so we can check which areas are still having a bit of a problem. Go down on the edge. And down on this edge. Might actually cut it through here as well on this edge. I see Watch Dogs Legion is being released soon from Ubisoft. I bought the first Watch Dogs game, I didn't buy the second one. I don't know, it's all paint by numbers pretty much with those Watchdog games. Same with the Assassin's Creed games now, they're just all the same. Too samey. So I won't be buying Legion. Or the new Assassin's Creed game either. Odyssey, I think they're calling it. Mercury says, I bought the second but not the first. It was decent. Well, I bought the first but not the second. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but I wouldn't say it was great. The first one, that was. I mean, the hacking mechanic, that was the first game to do it. And that was pretty interesting, pretty cool. Just trying to work out where it's having an issue here. I think what I might do here... might... Let's see if we can clean it up with doing an optimize. Okay, we will fix this in Max. Basically, it's just the repack. As far as the, I can do it here in the program. It's easier for me to do these realignments in Max. But we'll do it in the program just to show it can be done in the program as well. Smokeberry says my main news site gave Legion a meh on a preview build last week. Well, I watched the first 15 minutes of a playthrough on YouTube late last night, and I wasn't really impressed with the visuals in it. I thought it looked pretty ordinary, personally. Like, it's supposed to use ray tracing, and I can see the ray tracing in the demo that I viewed, like in the playthrough, because they've got lots of water and stuff on the ground, so in the reflection you can see the ray tracing. But I just thought the quality of the graphics just looked really ordinary. Not bad, but very ordinary. So, yeah, I wasn't impressed with the graphics in it. I thought the graphics looked a bit meh. Not to detract from the hard work, I'm sure, that the guys and girls at Ubisoft put into the game, but yeah, it just didn't look great to me. I wasn't that impressed with the graphics. And you know Phil's all about the pretty graphics. You don't give him the pretty graphics, he's not happy. He won't like it. And yeah, it certainly didn't look ugly, but it didn't look great either. It looked ordinary, very ordinary. Again, I don't know if that's because of restrictions they may have had because of the older generation consoles or something. I don't know. And the guy that was doing the playthrough was playing it on a PC. You expect PC graphics to be top notch all the time. And it just, yeah, didn't look that great to me. Not terrible, but not amazing either. And yeah, it hasn't been released yet, but I think the guy that I watch, he's a game sort of, all he does is let's plays and a lot of reviews and stuff of games. So I think Ubisoft gave him and other YouTubers access to their server. So he was actually streaming the game from Ubisoft's server. He didn't install it on his machine. So again, I don't know if that had anything to do with the way that the visuals looked, but I couldn't see how it would. It just did not look that great. I like to go clockwise doing this. There's no reason that I need to. I could go anti-clockwise, but I don't know, it just feels wrong going anti-clockwise, doing a cut. Looks like I might have made a bit of an error there. So I'm just going to do that again. That's better. Let's do a cut. Let's do a cut through here. Again. Clockwise. I must go clockwise. Android Lust, it's good to see you. Smokeberry says their main complaint was that because all the characters are disposable, everything is generic. Yeah, I believe as part of the gameplay you can play as any of the NPC characters. So yeah, I've heard that complaint made about Watch Dogs as well. But it's good to see you, Android Lust. Hope you're well. We've just been talking about Watch Dogs Legion from Ubisoft and how disappointed I was with the graphics, with the look of the graphics when I watched a Let's Play last night. Not saying it was terrible, but not saying it was great either. Looked very generic. The modelling and the texturing looked incredibly generic. I think that's probably a better description. Not bad, just very generic. Gonna have to do that again. Again, I made a bit of a boo-boo during my cut there. Stop doing that, man. Why you do that? Finally. Smurfberry says, also game streaming. What do you mean, Smurf? Android Lost says, didn't know there was a new Watchdog out. It's not actually out yet. It hasn't been released. It's you can play it, like the guy I was watching, he's a YouTube game reviewer. He does lots of Let's Plays. He was actually streaming it from Ubisoft's servers. He didn't install it, so Ubisoft haven't given it out for people to install. But you can log into a Ubisoft server and play a demo version of the game on their server to do a I don't know what they call them. He calls it a Let's Play, but it's only like a certain amount of the game that Ubisoft let them sort of look at and review. But it's not out yet. It's coming out this year. And Smurfberry says, you said you watched a guy who was... Yes, yeah, I did. So yeah, I was watching a guy who was streaming it from the Ubisoft servers. And I was saying how I thought the graphics looked very ordinary. So the texturing and the modeling and was ordinary. It wasn't terrible, but it was just... And again, I don't know if that's maybe something to do with the fact it's being streamed. Maybe that makes it look a bit worse than it actually will be in real life. Maybe. Maybe. Possibly. I certainly, unless when other people review the proper game that you can download and install, unless it looks substantially better than what I saw in the Let's Play, I won't be buying it and playing it because I didn't like the look of it. It was the same reason I I didn't buy and play Watch Dogs 2. I didn't think that looked great either. I thought the lighting in that looked a bit off. Something about the lighting just didn't look quite right in that game. But of course you can always throw a reshade or something on a game to make it look better or different if you don't like the way it looks initially. It's always an option. If you're a PC gamer, of course. Thank you, Hellforge, for the host. I do appreciate it. So thank you, Hellforge TV, for hosting the Phil Does 3D channel. I do appreciate it, guys and girls, when you host the channel. Okay, let's do a repack. A little bit of stretching here at the top, but not enough, I think, to worry about. We managed to clean up most of it, so even though the software couldn't manage it all on its own, it got us like 3/4 of the way there, and we just had to do a little bit of cleanup by hand. Hellforge, it's good to see you. Remember to save. Yeah, well, actually, I'm in Verizon at the moment, so we'll save when we get back into Max. Just out of curiosity, Hellforge, you're on the Discord, aren't you? NanoCat, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. So, NanoCat, thanks for following Phil Does 3D and welcome to the channel. Remember, guys, you can join the Discord server, the Phil Does 3D Discord too, if you want. I always like one of the main reasons I stream on Twitch is to actually encourage you guys and girls to do 3D. And to look at the work you guys are doing. And there's a gallery section on the Discord server where you can post images that you're working on if you want. You don't have to. There's also a section there where you can post links to your folios and ArtStation and all that sort of jazz. So it's worth joining the Discord server if you're into 3D and artwork. There's a section also for tutorials and tips, which is really useful and helpful. It's stuff that the guys and girls that are members of the Discord server have come across, videos on YouTube and all that sort of jazz. So NanoCat says, I come along with help. Oh, okay. Well, welcome to Phil Does 3D. I was going to ask, Hellforge, is your username on the Discord the same as your username in Twitch chat? Are you Hellforge on Discord as well? There's the Discord link. Thank you, Hellforge. Just curious if your username is the same on Discord as in Twitch. So let me know. So yeah, we cleaned that up. Let's show the rest of the staircase here. And let's do these banisters that are giving the program a bit of a problem doing them automatically. We're not going to have a choice. We're going to have to do them by hand because the program just can't cope. We can use the automatic tools for like I said, for most of it, but we're just going to have to do a bit of it by hand. Strange UV map. Yeah, it's the same. Cool. Okay. Because I did mention to you before I went on break about moderation and stuff like that, so I just wanted to double check that. Hellforge says, remember to drink some coffee. UVs are harder without it. That's true. Let's do that right now. I do love the coffee so much. I don't think I could work... Oh, wrong button. I don't think I could get through a day without it drinking coffee now. I said to you guys, my mother's British. Was British. She died years ago now, but... so I used to drink a lot of tea as a kid. I was a big tea drinker, but as I grew up, when I got older, when I became a big boy, I switched to coffee, and I love coffee so much. I mean, I still don't mind an occasional cup of tea, but I prefer coffee. And yeah, I don't think I could get through a day without it now. I just need the coffee. It's a drug. A drug. Actually have to make sure when I'm doing these cuts I'm going all the way down. Like this one where I must go down. Android Lust says addiction. That's right, it is an addiction. But I don't drink alcohol, so I can have one bad vice, can't I? Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs anymore. I haven't done that for a very long time. So coffee is my one vice. No, Helpwood says you say addiction, I say passion. That's right. I can admit to coffee being an addiction, that's fine. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, Sniper. It goes well. We've just been talking about coffee and how much we love it. Or how much I love it anyway. Loves me my coffee. We're just going to optimize these sections here now that we've done a cut on them. And we're also just going to, let me just undo that. Just rotate them around so that they're facing in the right direction. Where is that bit? Oh, down there. Okay. These are actually facing around the wrong way. Did you stream today, Hellforge? Hellforge says, yeah, missed it. Just missed it. You didn't miss out on anything world changing. I spent 7 hours failing to model a house. What software do you use, Hellforge? You have told me, I'm sure, but Phil's old and forgets things. What software do you use to model in again? And again, Hellforge is a streamer. You should check his stream out, guys and girls, as well. ArchViz is harder than it looks. Yes, it is. Everything is harder than it looks. But anything worth doing is hard. Isn't that what they say? Wrong one. Let's go into that mode. Cut it through here, I think. Sniper Echo says, oh man, my timing sucks, ArchViz, because ArchViz can be tough, it can, yes. I'll Blender for modeling and UV unwrapping, Substance Painter and Designer for materials. You have told me, I remember now. But like I said, Phil's got an old brain, so he forgets things. Yep, Blender completely free. Remember, guys and girls, if you want to get into doing 3D and you don't want to spend any money, use Blender. It's very good. We spent the morning complaining about how Autodesk are changing the rules regarding educational software. Well, they're not so much changing the rules, they're just they want you to prove you actually are in doing education before you can get an educational license now. So, which I guess is fair enough. Yeah, we'll keep going the way we are. It's done a couple of really weird cuts through here, so we might look at that in a minute. Android Lost says to Sniper Echo doing good, making quick character. I look forward to seeing it as well. Did you do some beautiful character work, Android Lost? Let me sit up straight. Okay. Good posture. Don't want to get a bad back from working at a computer. And let's cut it through here. And then let's do a cut through here. And we're going to cut it along the edge. So before we do that, let's do a cut up here. And then we can cut it along the edge. Let's just do a repack. NanoCat says, I tried 3D Studio Max back in 98 to 2000, but when I found Blender, it was so nice. I fell in love with the workflow. Can't say I'm still nearly as much comfortable with Blender after all the changes, getting reacquainted now. Yeah, again, I've not used Blender. I know a lot of the guys and girls that watch my channel have and do. And I've heard good things about it, so yeah, just from what the guys and girls that watch me say about it, it does, and it's free. I mean, even if it was the worst 3D software on the planet, the fact that it's free is a good big plus in my book. And it's not; it's really good software. So I've used Max though for so long. And because the ArchViz studio I work for, I work for an ArchViz studio and for a game studio. And both of those studios we use Max and Maya. I don't use Maya, but animators do. I'm not an animator, but I couldn't imagine not using Max because I've used it so long, and all the work in the studios, we pretty much use Max. So. Android Lost says, it'll be different from the other stuff I made. Fair warning, no problem. So different is good. Different but still safe for work, good. Just to make it that clear, good. Yeah, because remember, we want to keep it clean on my channel. I don't stream to mature audiences. I'm free for everyone to watch, like all age groups. So we want to keep it clean, as clean as we can. So suitable for work is good. Remember too, all of my videos that I stream on Twitch get eventually uploaded to my YouTube channel. So they'll be online forever, or for as long as YouTube's around. Unless I, for some reason, decide to take my YouTube channel down, which is unlikely. Unless Google pissed me off again. Hellforge says, had an idea for an environment piece that sounded easy enough on paper since I needed a break from weapons. I've been working on it for a while. It's always nice to switch things up. If you work on like one thing a lot in 3D, and it can be a nice change to go to something else. Let's clean up these pieces as well. Okay, I see. I see. I'm just going to get it to repack these. I want them to move so I know that I've actually UV mapped them. Android Lust says, now I'm intrigued. What's the worst 3D software? Nanocat says, of course, studios have their own workflow and requirements. Yeah. 3D Studio. Oh, you're going to get a Phil slap, Hellforge. 3D Studio Max is not the worst 3D software. I love Max. Max is my baby. Don't you say bad things about Max. G-Max Smurfberry says. Modboy. Hello, Modboy says, I have also used Max for many years. It just feels right for me. It's the same with me. I mean, I love Max's interface. It's nice and clean, easy to find what you need when you need it. I love the modifier stack in Max. It's one of the things I love most about the software is the fact you've got that modifier stack so you can go back and switch things on and off, which is invaluable when you for a workflow. So I love that about Max as well. I love the speed of the interface now as well, now that they've improved it with the Qt interface, now that they've updated Max's interface. So, yep, love Max. It's welcome to Phil Does 3D Modboy as well. Smurfberry says, it's a family stream. That's right, it is a family stream, so keep it clean. Nanocat says to Android Lost, the software I first had was Calligraphy True Space. I know that software. I used that years ago. I know it doesn't. You can't. It's gone. It's gone now. It was bought by Microsoft, I believe, and then they killed it all. Yeah, I do remember that software, which came for free with some piece of hardware. It was pretty slow and the most unpredictable issues. It was just so unreliable, kind of capable, but everything was implemented slightly wonky and with no insight into what you did wrong and no way to fix it. I do remember that software. Smurfberry says, we should unleash a voice recognition bot on Phil's VODs to determine just how family friendly they are. I keep it clean. Come on. I do. I keep it clean. I don't swear. I try not to anyway. I want people to know that if they've got youngins and that they can comfortably watch my channel without fear of hearing something they shouldn't hear. Andrew Doss says the Smurf never heard of Gmax. Yeah, I know Gmax. That was around too. But it looks like a dead Autodesk CD. It was like Autodesk pre-version of Max that they did for a year or two before they dropped it. Yes, Mercury, yeah, a stripped down version of Max. I should read of 3D Studio. I should read. NanoCat says to Android Last, I don't think even True Space was bad enough to count as the worst. Modboy says to NanoCat, yep, also used True Space and Coral's Ray Dream Studio. Now, I haven't used that. I've used Coral Draw before, but I've not used that, which is their their version of Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, vector sort of program. And it's pretty good actually, Coral Draw. Sniper OK says, I find Blender 2.8 clean and uncluttered. I miss the all-in-one user interface. You can never have too clean or too uncluttered, Sniper Echo. Man, come on. Android Dust says, I never heard of True Space. Yeah, I know it. Modboy says, True Space was from the... You know, I think I've still got an old version of it on a hard drive somewhere, like the installer for True Space. I mean, I don't recommend you install anything like that now because it's really old and really outdated, but yeah, I do believe I still have an installer for it somewhere in one of my old archive hard drives. Smurfberry says, you literally just said Google pisses you off. Wash out your mouth. Well, that's not too bad, though. I mean, that's not really a swear word. Not really. It's not a swear word. Just going to do a bit of an optimize on some of these other pieces of the mesh. get it to do a repack. Again, a little bit of stretching on the bit at the top, but not enough to worry about. This banister is going to be wood, so you won't notice it. Now, we do have this really strange cut that the software has done here, which I don't like. So, like the automatic Unwrapped did this, not me. I didn't do this, don't blame me. But it's not really great. So, we're just going to go through and tidy it up a little bit. I wish this banister was a one-click solution, but unfortunately, it's not going to be. It's just a bit too complicated for the software to work out all on its own. We're going to have to give it a hand. Euro, yo-yo to you as well. Nano Cat says, yeah, I had TrueSpace 3 and upgraded to TrueSpace 4. Yeah, I think the version that I have is TrueSpace 4, the old installer somewhere. Modboy says 3D Studio had a huge user base that moved to 3D Studio Max when it was released. And Max still has a huge user base, particularly in ArchViz. It's used all the time because it integrates really well with CAD. And ArchViz Studios, they're the two pieces of software they use constantly. And it's good software. I mean, I love Max. Hellforge says, clean your mouth out with some coffee. Yeah, let's do that. Well, there you go. As Android Lost says, piss and bitching aren't curse words, according to Phil. They're not. They're not curse words. The F word is a curse word. You know? F blank blank blank. That's the curse word. That's a curse word. Hellforge says, hey to Euro. It's good to see you, Euro. Nanocat says, for illustration, I like Zara Designer. Again, I've not used that program. I've heard of it, but not used it. Modboy says, all these old programs were pre-polygon modeling. If you wanted to use polygons, you could use Martin Hash 3D program. I'm not familiar with that one. Real life is a bit warped. Modboy says, Smurfberry says, man, back in the 1980s when you pushed verts manually for film visual effects. Back in the old days, the bad old days. Hellforge says, as in reaction to into the screen and slapped the vertex around. As in reached into the screen and slapped the vertex around. Modboy says, I remember spline and patch modeling. Don't miss it. Well, you know that they're still in Max. You can still spline model and patch model in 3D Studio Max. Why do I always hit the Windows key? So that's still a thing that you can still do in Max. If you really want to go back for those days. If you're feeling nostalgic, you want to do a bit of spline and patch modeling. Just going to optimize that out, and I'm just going to rotate it around. I'm also just going to slice that up a little bit more. Just needs a bit of a helping hand. And again, these cuts I'm making, they're on the corners of the wooden banister, so this should be fine. And let's just straighten these up. every time I hit the Windows key. I mean to hit the Alt key and I'm hitting the Windows key because I'm not paying attention to where my fingers are hitting. Let's just get it to do a bit of a repack there. I might just clean this a little bit up here as well. That's better. That's better. Hero says, sounds like surgery to Smurfberry. Just reaching right in, bro. Oh, you'll be right back. I'm just reaching right in. Crosswind, it's good to see you, buddy. Says, I used Lightwave in high school. Yeah, Lightwave. I remember Lightwave. Again, not software I use, but I do know it. Modboy says, remember the 3D software war? Well, Lightwave just couldn't keep up. Android Lost says to Crosswind, Lightwave was my first before I used Maya. You know, 3D Studio was my first. I started with 3D Studio before it became Max. So I've used 3D Studio since version 1. That was what I cut my teeth in 3D on, was Autodesk 3D Studio. And then eventually they changed it to 3D Studio Max. But yep, I've always been a 3D Studio guy. Euro says, I know a few people who still use Lightwave. Hellforge says, I agree. Funk is pretty terrible. Jazz is all the rage. Oh. Oh man, you're going to get some hate. Android Lust says, yeah, Lightwave didn't keep up at all. Modboy says 3D Studio Max needs to clean house. Look, I agree. I mean, you know, Autodesk have a habit of integrating plugins that have sold really well or been really popular. Instead of actually doing any work on Macs themselves, they've just like bought plugins and mashed them into the Macs program. They're getting better. Like now Autodesk seem, now that it's subscription, you've got to pay every month. I guess they're more motivated to pull their finger out and make sure that what they're offering is worth the money. So they are getting better at actually adding stuff that is useful. And fixing bugs. I use Max 2021.1, the new updated version, and it hasn't crashed on me. No. That Boolean crash, that was I think before I updated it, but Max 2021 has crashed once on me during a Boolean operation, but generally it's pretty stable now. Euro says they already rebuilt the GUI on modern Qt for 2021, so yeah, so a lot of legacy issues and latency is gone. Yeah, I've not. Max is very responsive. I find now when I use it. So the Qt interface they've done a good job with that. Yeah, and they rebuilt that from scratch, so they are doing work to improve Max. Well, they're trying to. Crosswind says, when I came back to modelling years after high school, I went into Max, been stuck in it ever since. I love Max, mate. You can't go wrong using Max. You know. And despite all the naysayers, like I remember when Autodesk bought Maya, because Maya never used to be an Autodesk product. A lot of people were saying, oh, now they're going to kill Max or kill Maya. They haven't done either. They've kept both of them going, and they update and develop both of them. So, because they're both very popular. Here says, be right back, Windows wants to update. Good luck with that. I actually haven't done the update. It will have come through today, but I haven't done a check for updates yet, so my computer's not complaining it wants to update. And I'm still deciding whether to install the new 2004 version of Windows or whether enough of the bugs have been ironed out that I'm willing to risk updating to 2004. It's being offered now, finally, on my main computer. Remember a couple of weeks ago I showed you guys the little graphic with a little yellow exclamation mark saying, your computer is not quite ready for Windows 2004. Well, actually, it is ready now, but I haven't installed it yet. Today's Patch Tuesday, so, you know, the general Windows updates come through anyway. Hot Boy says, I had a copy of Lightwave, and the demo scene to render was Tyrell building from Blade Runner. So that is very cool. That's a great movie, Blade Runner. Classic, love it. Actually, even like the new version of it, Blade Runner 2049, that was good too. Helpwood says, see you next week, Euro Android. Lust says to Crosswind, not to completely hate on Lightwave, but you made a good choice. There was just something about Lightwave that I really liked. Don't remember what it was. Sniper says to Crosswind, hey. Crosswind says, yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about it, honestly. It was just mindlessly following some tutorials for a hallway for one of the Resident Evil games. Mod Boy says, yep, in DOS. 3D Studio 4. That's right, DOS. Mod Boy. 3D Studio 4. I started with 3D Studio 1. So I was there from the beginning. But again, I don't play favorites with 3D software. I'm not saying Max is better than anything else. Any piece of 3D software that you use now is very good. Oh, damn it. I want to isolate. There we go. You use what you like and you use what you can afford. They're the two things that are most important. And that's why Blender is great, because it's free. And it's good. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's not good. It is good. But I'm just stuck in my ways, and I love Max. Like I said, Max is my baby. But I'm just an old fuddy-duddy who's stuck in his ways anyway. That's not true. Part of my job, actually, I've mentioned before to you guys, I'm an environment artist for the ArchViz studio. So basically, the architects design... We do a lot of work for government contract stuff. So basically, governments like to put their offices in really old buildings. And they're not set up for a modern office because, you know, they were made 100 years ago. So what they tend to do is they tend to put extensions on the backs of these really old period buildings. So the studio I work for specialise in doing these extensions, and my job is to actually integrate renders of photogrammetry of the actual building, the facade of the building, and then to include the modern extension that's usually put on the back. But also part of my job at the studio is as a technical artist, where I have to review a lot of new software to see if anything could improve our production pipeline, anything to speed up our production pipeline. So I do tend to use a lot of different software because I tend to review a lot of different software for the studio. Because not everything new is great to use or is useful for us in the ArchViz studio. So... Why did I tell you that? I think just as a bit of background for anyone new to my channel watching me once. He says, who is this guy? What does he do? But I also do work for a game studio, which is what the asset you see me working on here is one that's going to go into the game that you can actually wishlist on Steam at the moment. And for that studio, I'm a technical artist and the creative director. So I have the final say in how things look. Let's cut that through. Yep. We'll fix that bit up once we're finished unwrapping the rest of it. So let's also cut it through here. And let's do a cut through here. You know, I love 3D modeling. I've done it for more than 15 years now. I can't imagine doing anything else. But man, do I hate UV mapping. It's one of the things about 3D modeling that I really don't like doing. It's really important. Like, you can't get a good model without a good unwrap. But man, do I hate doing it. I know Android Lust loves doing it, but I hate doing it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I know that they tried to sort of, PTEX is it's still a thing. That's basically where you don't need to worry about UV mapping your models. But it's for game stuff, you still have to unwrap. Oh, you're back. You're back, Hero. Patch Tuesday. You survived Patch Tuesday. Well done. Helpful says welcome back. NanoCat says, has someone used soft image XSI here? Again, I haven't, but I know soft image. I know people who are still sad about it. Yeah, they sort of killed that off as well when it was brought up, which is a shame because it was supposed to be very good. Again, it used to be used in the film industry all the time. Like I've worked in the games industry, I've worked in the film industry, and now Archivist and Games again. So I know the film industry used to be huge. A lot of people were sad when the soft image or soft image, however you want to pronounce it, sort of died. Hero says now to update my other PC. And then a cat says, I think the way I found Blender was via Republic Library. There was a book about it. Okay, 2000. I didn't know Blender had been around that long. Android Dust says, I didn't get a chance to use soft image, soft image. Smurpery says, I think I have a copy of XSI but never used it. Modboy says, I keep dodging the update. Smurpery says, I've seen a few hobby and add-on programmers experiment with adding a Qixel library to Blender. That would be pretty cool. Yura says, my old main rig has 2004 on it. Runs fine. They haven't pushed the update to my new rig yet. So who knows when they'll do that. Yeah, I just, like I said to the guys, they only just pushed it to my main machine here last week. Well, a couple of days ago, I think, actually. Prior to that, I got the yellow exclamation saying your machine's not quite ready. All my other machines in the apartment, though, they were off with the update weeks ago. I haven't updated any of them yet. I'm just always wary about Microsoft and their updates because one of the cumulative updates a month ago broke my printer. Like, I couldn't print anything. This is not the 2004 version of Windows, the other version, the version before that. They did a cumulative update that ended up making it so I couldn't print anything. And I need the printer for work. It's vital. I print a lot of stuff out. So that was really annoying. They did release a hotfix, which I installed, which did fix it, but that took a couple of weeks, and so I couldn't print anything for a couple of weeks. Thank you, Microsoft. So I'm just wary about Microsoft and their updates because they don't do enough testing. I don't know what's going on at Microsoft, but they've got to get their testing right. They got to test more. You know, don't use your users as beta testers. You know, people can opt in if they want to beta test your software. I don't want to do that. I want when you release an update, I want it to work. Don't use me as a beta tester. That's not cool, Microsoft. That's not cool at all. Because I rely on my machine for work, I can't have it go down for any reason at all. They won't be too happy with me in the studio if I say, well, I did a Windows update and it broke my computer, so I can't get that project finished for you and for the client on time. That's not going to fly. You're not going to be happy with me. So don't break my stuff, Microsoft. Let's get it to do a repack. Let's get it to do a bit of an optimize. And a couple of these pieces of geometry. And let's just make sure that they're rotated correctly. Where's this piece? Oh, that'll be the base, okay. Again with the Windows key. I'm just going to get it to do a bit of an optimize on these side pieces as well. I'll repack, and let's just clean up this bit of a mess it made with auto unwrap down here. And get it to do an optimize. And rotate it around. And let's just clean up this little bit in here. And this little bit through here.
You find me with the hardest words, punch my chest till it hurts, picking up the pieces keep falling apart. When did you turn your head, erase me? Searching for my heart in the debris. I've lost myself since you left me.
Alright, again a little bit of stretching, but nothing we're going to worry about. Nanocat says, I think I found the way oh sorry, I read that. Mod Boys dodging the updates. Mercury says, I've seen a few hobby add-on programmers experiment with adding the Qixel library in Blender. It would be cool. Euro says, my old main rig is 2004 in it. Runs fine. They haven't pushed the update to my new rig yet. Who knows when they'll do that. Nanocat says, it's Mercury Y. The built-in user interface toolkit is well adjusted to use. Konesumi, thank you Konesumi for following the channel. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. And yes, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. Nanocat says, as they say, the best camera is the one you have on you. That's right. And I forgot to take my camera when I went on break for those 2 weeks, so I couldn't take any pictures. And I like taking pictures when I go away. Like I went to my cabin in the woods. No I did have electricity, but no televisions or phones or anything like that. So I normally take my DSLR camera because I like to wander through the forest and take pictures, because it's really isolated. But I couldn't do that because I forgot my camera, which was a bit of a bummer. And I don't take my phone with me when I go there. And because I like to take pictures to use as textures for 3D modeling. Android Lost says, I actually just finished doing some UVs. Helford says, sounds like it's time for some coffee. Yes. Neuro's printing things in 2020. Helford says, just went to get a cup of myself. Nanocat says, Blender was publicly released in 98 as commercial software with limited freeware version. Wow, I didn't know it was that old. It was in-house animation software, a one advertisement studio from mid-90s till 2000. Then they pivoted into trying to be a software company instead. In 2003, there was crowdfunding run to buy back the software rights for investors and release it as open source. And don't forget, recently, not that long ago, Epic Games donated $1 million, I think it was, to developing Blender, to help in the development of Blender. So that was a big investment from Epic Games too in the software. And that was about a year ago, maybe a year ago, if that. So relatively recently. Smurfberry says to Nanocat, not really. You can't build nested pie menus or custom toolbar with Blender's available Python interface. And Nanocat says to Smurfberry, well, it's not like Qt has pie menus. That's very true. Smurfberry says you can only operate inside the conventions that Blender already has. Euro says some of my Max plugins have pie menus. They're pretty cool. Yeah, pie menus can be cool. I don't think not having them is like the end of the world, though, I have to say. Okay, so we'll use the automatic tools, Automagic, to get it 3/4 of the way there, and then we can just clean it up again. And stop that. I watched a video on YouTube, was released a few hours ago now, I think, where they were talking about the new Unreal Engine 5. That was pretty cool to watch, so I recommend you guys check that out on YouTube. They sort of did a breakdown of how they put the scene together. They didn't talk too much about Nanite and Lumen, which are the new lighting and mesh stuff that's going to be coming to UE4 next year. But it was still worth a watch. It was interesting. I'm excited for the new engine. It should be pretty cool. Nanocat says Epic also sponsors Armor Paint and Godot Engine and dozens of game development and graphics tools. Remember too, Epic Games recently purchased Qixel, which are mega scans, so photogrammetry modeling that you can download and use if you're making an Unreal Engine game completely free. If you want to pay, you can use their scans in lots of different software like Max and whatnot, but if you want to use it for free and you're making an Unreal game, you certainly can do that because Epic Games purchased them. Qixel Studio. So keep that in mind as well, because they do have some really nice photogrammetry models on Qixel's website. Well, under Qixel Bridge. That's the program you use to download them through. All you need is an Epic Games account, which is free to set up and use, and then you can download all of the models, as many of them as you want. Not just 3D models, they do textures as well, so like shaders, like Substance Painter, but they have their own version called Qixel Studio, I think it is, which is not as good as Substance Painter, but hey, it's there and it's free, so because you got to pay for Substance Painter. Smurfberry says, yeah, it's pretty awesome that Epic gave Armor Paint a grant. Hellforge says, I always get so disappointed whenever I use pie menus. I get all hyped up for some tasty blueberry or rhubarb pie, and all I get is a horrible Geo instead. Smurfberry says, man, I haven't had pie in months. Neither have I. I want pie too. What sort of pie do you want? What are you craving? What sort of pie are you craving? What am I craving? Cherry, I think. I'd love a cherry pie. Yeah, because I love cherry. Nice cherry pie. Yum. Peppery says, I'd like some of that rhubarb pie right now. I don't like rhubarb, personally. Coconut would be nice though. I like coconut. Smithberry says bebop, a rebop, rhubarb. Oh, man, I've really got to concentrate when you write Smithberry. Wow. Coconut Android Lust says yes. Like a coconut sound does sound nice. Nice coconut pie. Yum. Coconut or cherry, either one will do me. Just as well, Sniper Girl's not here because last time I said I was hungry, she posted pictures in Discord of all these lovely looking chocolate pies. Or chocolate cakes, sorry. You know, so I'm streaming away and I'm saying I'm starving, and she's posting pictures of chocolate cake on Discord. She's cruel. Okay, let's do a bit of cleanup here. Do a repack. Got to make sure nothing's selected. With the way the program works, if you select an object, like if you make a selection like that and do a repack, it's only going to repack the thing you selected. So if you want it to repack everything, make sure you have nothing selected, or select everything to get it to repack everything. Should be going that way. Okay, I'm getting a bit of stretching here, so I want to maybe optimize. And let's rotate these ones around. And let's get it to do a repack. And let's just clean up this bit of a mess it's made down the bottom. And get it to do an optimize. and a repack. Okay, so I think they're all those really fiddly banister pieces. How are we going here? Healthwood says, rhubarb isn't my favourite, but I always get nostalgic whenever I eat it because my grandmother used to make some really good ones back in the day. With rhubarbs grown in the garden outside the house. Same with black and red currant. Yeah, I just don't like the taste of rhubarb that much. Personally. Okay, now I'm going to get Max to do a complete repack once we've UV mapped everything up anyway. So we're not going to worry about the UV mapping here at the moment until we get everything finished. And then we'll do the main unwrap, the main repack in Max. Let's look at, let's see how it goes with these spiral sections, shall we? Let's just see if we can get a better result with one of the other tools. It hasn't done too bad a job. We'll clean this version of it up. So mainly through here, it's done a few too many cuts. I don't think we really need that many. Same with the inner part of it. Aside from that though, it hasn't done too bad a job. Might just do an optimize on some of these pieces here. And we'll just rotate this one around. Get it to do a repack. And there we go. We'll keep going up the spiral. Let's optimize these pieces and rotate this one around. And repack. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do a save here because just to be on the safe side, I'm going to save it as just So I have a version in case anything ever does happen. I don't have to want to have to redo all this UV mapping again. We're going to call it Spiral Stairs. Just to be safe. This program has never crashed on me, by the way. Not Rhizome itself. The plugin has, but not the actual program. But yeah, I really don't want to have to do all that recutting and stuff by hand. That would not be fun. Yes, the asset you see me working on here is for the House on the Hollow game, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. So thank you, Hellforge, for putting the Discord. And don't forget, if you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord, to do that as well. Click that link that Hellforge just popped in the Twitch chat. Andrew Doss says, all this food talk reminded me that I didn't eat anything. I haven't eaten yet this morning either, but it's coming up to lunchtime for me, so I'll have something then. Which is easy to do. I mean, I've gone the whole day without eating, so I just get caught up in what I'm doing and I forget. Contigi, thank you for this 13-month subscription, Contigi. You're absolutely awesome. I do appreciate it, guys, when you subscribe to the channel, so thank you, Contigi, for the 13-month subscription. Not sure if you're actually in chat or not, but I still appreciate these subs, so thanks, Contigi. Hopwood says, I've been craving pizza like crazy for a while now. I haven't had it since 2012. Translation, Smurfberry says, translation, hold my beer. Android Lost says, haven't had pizza since 2012. Wow. I couldn't imagine not eating pizza for that long. I love pizza. Hellforge says, I kind of lost the taste for it after I ate it 2 to 3 times a day for almost 2 months. I wouldn't recommend that. Hellforge says, I was about as round as I was tall at the time. Yeah, pizza can be fattening. I like the pizza, but because you guys know I used to be very round as well. I was a real little butterball. Round little ball. I lost a lot of weight as I got a bit older. And pizza can be incredibly fattening. But occasionally it's okay. Like McDonald's occasionally, pizza occasionally. It's not every day. And it's not healthy food to eat every day anyway. As tasty as it is, why is it everything that's bad for you tastes so good? Explain that to me. Why is it that everything that is so bad for you tastes so good? It's not fair, I say. It's not fair. Okay, let's do an unwrap on you. And let's do an unwrap on you. Not that unwrap. Let's just do an optimize on this, see if we can't clean it up a little bit with an optimize. And do a repack. And then you. again, we'll do an optimize on a couple of these pieces that are a bit wonky looking. Wow. Not even really sure where that piece is in the geometry. Let's go back. Okay, it's that outer edge there. It's having a real issue trying to do an optimize on that for some reason. I prefer it to be a bit wonky, but a better unwrap. Again, this bit here where we've got a bit of stretching happening, where is it? Here, is hidden behind another piece that sits in front of it, so I'm not going to worry about that, even though the unwrap is a little weird. This inner edge here is never going to be seen, so like we go back to, I tell a lie, it can. Alright. Alrighty then, you want to be like that? Fine. Let's see if we can get an unwrap on just this piece of geometry. No, I don't like that. Oh. I went back too far. It really has an issue with this piece of geometry for some reason. I think what I might do is I might do a cut through here. Program is really having an issue with this. I'm not sure why. Alright, your program can't manage it on its own, then I'm going to have to do it myself. Helpwood says I was about as round as I was tall. Helpwood says probably because the big wig upstairs hates us all secretly. I agree. I think we're talking about why everything that tastes good is so bad for you. Android Lost says as much as I like pizza, I normally can't eat as much of it as I want to. Helpwood says that's my theory. Remember to save and to take a swig of coffee to help with the unwrap. That's right. And let's do a save. Well, I'm going to do a save as just to make sure it's saving it to the right file. Okay. Going to see if I can't do an unwrap here by hand, just to give the program a bit of help, because it looks like it's having a bit of a problem. Okay, I think that should be okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, let's keep going here. Helpwood says, do you have a heat pad nearby? Or does your coffee get cold when you're focusing? No, it gets cold. Yeah. But I don't mind drinking cold coffee. Actually, I'm one of those really weird people that will drink coffee whether it's hot or cold. But no, it gets cold. It gets cold. Unfortunately. I'm going to see if we can't do all the stairs at once. Sorry for the clickety clack you can hear on my keyboard there. I am using a mechanical keyboard, so I know they can be a bit noisy. I mean, they're brown switches, so they're not as noisy as some, but I can hear the clicking, and my keyboard is right under my microphone, so I'm sure you guys can hear it as well. Let's isolate those. And let's see how it goes doing an automatic unwrap. No, I don't like that. Not bad, not great. See if we can get a better result. No, that's not good. That's much better. Helpwood says, considering you live on a continent where the average temperature is best described as hell on earth, it makes perfect sense to drink coffee cold. Yes, I live in Australia, and even though we're in winter at the moment, so it is quite cold today. It can get very hot. Very hot. It is like hell on earth. Unfortunately. Because I like the cold weather. I don't like the hot weather. I'd much rather it be cold than hot. But what can I do? I live in a country where it's always hot. I see, okay. I'm just going to do one of these. I want to see if the program is going to have an issue doing these like it had an issue doing these before we look at tackling the rest of them. So let's try one of the automatic unwrap tools here. That one's not going to work. Android Lost says, I'm sure Phil's winter's still not very cold. It is, it does get cold. It does. Let's have a look at the temperature in Melbourne today. Look, it's 9 degrees at the moment in Melbourne. So we're going to go to a top of 12. This is Celsius, by the way, for all you American people. It's 10. 10 degrees Celsius today at the moment. And it's going to get to, looks like 13 degrees. 12 or 13 degrees, but it's 10 degrees Celsius at the moment. So Helpwood says, which I'm sure for you guys in Europe where it snows is nothing. Helpwood says, the way I see it, there are far more ways to heat up than there are to cool off. It's easier to get warm than it is to get cool. That's what I find. Like it's much easier just to throw a doona around you or a quilt or stand over a heater. So it's easier to get warm. It's harder to get cool. Which is why I like to live where it's cool all the time. Helpwood says you can only remove so many layers of clothing before the police show up and start to ask questions. That's right. Oh, Andrew Nutt says, LOL, so it's not that cold. 10 degrees Celsius is 50 Fahrenheit. And is that not cold? I know you guys, like I said, in Europe where it snows, I mean, you guys can get down to into the negatives, so I know that's cold. But it's cold for me, because, the summer just gone was really horrible. We got up to like 45 degrees Celsius. So it was just awful. Awful. Really hot. Horribly hot. I'm just going to keep going through and see what the results the other Unwraps give us. How do I want to tackle this? I'd really like to be able to do it where I don't have to do any manual cleanup, because it'll just make it easier for me to do those 30 bloody banisters that go all the way up that stairwell. So anything that will do the job for me automatically, even though it's probably not as good an unwrap as I could. It's not as good an unwrap as I could do if I did it by hand. I think it'll be okay. Like we're getting some cuts through here that are unnecessary, particularly through this middle bit here. These bits at the top and bottom aren't too bad. But again, it's going to be a wooden banister. I don't think it's going to be noticeable. So I think it should be fine. But if you really wanted to be pedantic, you'd go through and do it and clean that up. I just don't want it to take me a week to do the UV mapping on this piece of, on the stairwell. Basically, because as it is, I'm going to have to do them one by one. I can't select them all. The program will just get completely confused. So if I can just use one that'll do the automatic unwrap, it'll make things much more easy. Helpwood says, or headbang to Slayer. Android Love says, 10 degrees Celsius, I'd probably still have the top down on my car. Oh man, really? I wouldn't. It's cold. It's cold. 10 degrees Celsius is cold for me. Having said that, I'd still love to live where it snows. I mean, I could deal with minus temperatures, that's fine. I could handle that. But 45 degrees Celsius, like it gets to in summer in Australia, is terrible, and I can't handle that. I really, really can't. I've told you guys, I've been thinking about, we are getting a bit of stretching happening here. I didn't notice that before. That's not great. Yeah, it's not great. We might look at that in a minute once we're finished UV mapping the rest of them. Even if we have to do some cleanup by hand, it'll be quicker, so. I was thinking about considering moving to Tasmania, which is this little island at the bottom of Australia, as close to Antarctica as you can possibly get, and still be an Australian citizen. No, don't do that. I'm not paying enough attention. I want to isolate. There we go. Oh yeah, so I even considered doing that to try and stay cool. Healthboard says wood gets warped over time anyway, so if it's not too bad, it'll work out anyway. Yeah, I know. I really don't think with this little bit of stretching we've got going on here, it's going to be noticeable once we put the wooden texture on it, because I'm going to be layering a couple of different wood materials anyway and mixing them using a smart mask. And I really think, because it's not a dark red anyway, it's a very mild stretching, I don't think it's going to be noticeable. If we find once we start texturing it up it is noticeable, then we can always come back in and just make some adjustments to the UV map then. But why do it if you don't need to do it? Why create more work for yourself if it's not necessary? Modboy says, how close will your camera get to it? As close as about that close. Then we start to hit the clipping plane. You can change that in the preferences, though, your clipping plane in the program. Android Dot says, depends on the player. Oh, you're talking about the game. Yeah, it's a first-person view. So the player, you're playing in first person. So you'll be able to get pretty close to it. But yeah, as a player character though, you're not going to be you're not going to get close enough where you're going to get right up to it like this. So it should be fine. I mean, I might just do a bit of a cleanup on it, like I said, after the fact, once we've got the rest of these UV mapped up. Just on a couple that might need it, because I don't think they all need it, just some of them. So yeah, again, I don't think the player character will get close enough that it's going to be an issue in game. Because I really don't think you're going to notice it. Well, I think you'll find once we start texturing it up in Substance Painter, you're not even going to notice. And I know we all want to do the best work we can, but sometimes you have to take your wins and your losers when you get them. Particularly because there are a lot of assets for this game. So but that's why I did the main ones here by hand, because because they're large and they will be noticeable in game much more than these little ones will be. So okay, I'm going to tempt fate, and I'm going to try and get this to do all of these at once. Normally I wouldn't, because the more objects the algorithm has to work with, and while it does its automatic unwrap, the more chance there is something will go wrong. We'll tempt fate, we'll see. I'll do that many and then we'll come back and do the rest. Let's see. So if I isolate these, let's get it to do an automatic unwrap. And it hasn't done too bad a job, surprisingly. Bit of a problem through here, but nothing major. Android Lost says, to be honest, I didn't know if mod meant Rhizom's cam or the renderer. I was assuming Rhizom, but then I thought maybe he was talking about the game. Modboy says, only the modelers inspecting your work. Hellforge says, save first. My boy says you're going to crash this time. We didn't crash. We were good. We will save. Just in case. So it didn't do too bad of a job doing them all together. They do look different here. It's just because the textile density it hasn't been packed yet. So they should all look okay once we repack them in max. But let's get them done first. So let's get these finished. So now we've just got the bits along the top. And these are the ones in here. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. You're going to crash the continuum, my boy says. Smoker says, you can do it. Beat the clock. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can. Let's see. What do we got left? We've got the railings left to do. Let's see what this does. Oh, it's not too bad. I'm just going to check to see if one of the other unwraps will do a better job. And this one actually does a much better unwrap, so that's fine. That's that one okay. Let's show. Let's keep going on the railing. Isolate. Oh, we're getting a little stretching down the bottom here. Which isn't great. Let's just see if we can get a better unwrap with one of the other ones. I think that's going to give us a better unwrap. Hellforge says, I remember trying to unwrap all parts of the high poly version of Valkyrie Assault Carrier at the same time. That was before I knew what I was doing, and I think it's one of the 2 times I've ever gotten the blue screen of death while doing 3D. Hellforge says, then again, I barely know what I'm doing nowadays. Small improvements, if nothing else. So long as they're improvements, that's the main thing, small or big. Let's try this one again. It should work. And then we just have these little bits through here. I'm basically just doing all the squares and rectangular bits now. For that one, we'll try this one here. It should work. I do have to check because I do have these little join pieces here on of the wood. So that one, that one, that one. Okay, let's isolate. Yeah, I don't like that bit of stretching we're going on there. Might just... Let me make sure everything else is done first, and I'll have a look at that. So these bits through the middle, I'm going to do them in max because the program is having a real problem trying to work out how to do an unwrap on these helix spiral thing in the middle. So yes, do remember guys to join the Discord server there. Thank you Hellforge. And that's my ArtStation. If you want to check out my previous work on ArtStation, some of my work, just a small amount of my work is on my ArtStation account. So yeah, these helixes in the middle, the program is having a real problem trying to do these automatically, auto-magically. So I think I may have to do these inside of Max. It should be quite simple in Max. I think what I'll end up doing is just throwing a cylindrical map on them. I think that'll work quite well in Max. Because while the program can do it, you can see it's sort of like doing a really weird unwrap, and it is breaking the model up quite a lot, the UV map up quite a lot. So I think it's going to be better for us to do those inside of Max. The only other thing I wanted to look at here with these railings, I just look a little bit like there's a little bit of stretching going on here. I mean, again, not terrible, not great though either. We might just see if we can't get a better unwrap. I think I might have forgotten a piece, did I? Just making sure I haven't forgotten any pieces. We're getting a bit of stretching in there, but I think that'll be alright. Aside from that, I think all of it is UV mapped apart from that middle helix bit. Don't notice anything that I forget. Oh, no, I did. I forgot this little piece here. So let's just quickly wrap that one up. We'll do a quick save. And we're going to send it back to Max. And I can't send it back to Max because I saved it. Bugger of a thing. That is really annoying. So this is why I didn't actually want to do a save inside the program, because now that I've saved it, the program won't send it back to Max. Let's see if we can't. We'll do it this way. We're going to go File, Import, Merge. No, not a merge. We're just going to do an import. File, Import. It saves this, I believe, on my C drive. Yeah. It puts it back virtually over the top of where the other one was. But if I do an unwrap on it, you can see that they're our Rhizome UVs. So I'm just going to hide the original, which is underneath of it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. See you, Smurfberry, you're out. No problems. Yes, I've got to finish up as well. I just want to make sure that our unwrap is correct so that we can see the result of our work. So I'm going to copy the unwrap on the Ryzen version, hide the Ryzen version. And we're going to paste the UVs on our original version. We're going to open them up. I'll be back on again next week, Smurf, so I'll see you then. Thanks for being here and for moderating and stuff as well, Smurf. I do appreciate it. We're going to do a pack in max. We're going to fill the holes. We're not going to rotate the clusters. And I'm going to have a copy while Max works that out. Oh, thank you, Hellforge. I'm glad you like the my ArtStation. Like I said, it's just some of my work that I've done over the years. So now that we've repacked the UVs, remember we haven't done the helix in the middle yet. I'm just going to check our textile density by throwing a checkout pattern down. Let's tile it, I don't know, 50 by 50. Plug that into the material. Elfwood says, I'm sitting here looking at the angelic ruin piece you did, and I'm running it over in my head how I do that window in Designer. I've seen some videos on YouTube how to make Gothic windows. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. It's one with the angel statue in the foreground and then the ruin of the window in the background. Yeah. And surprisingly, the UV mapping on those spirals is not too bad. Even though we didn't actually UV map them inside of Ryzen, I have a feeling what I actually ended up doing was actually doing a cylindrical map in Max. As we can see if we jump in here, the UV mapping on the centerpiece is fine. On the cylinder, the spiral cylinder thingy there. Our textile density looks fine. I can't see anything standing out that looks like it's bigger than the rest of it. I think we're good to go. So what that means is when we come back next week, we can start texturing it up inside of Substance Painter. So what I'm going to do is just delete the imported ones that we brought in before. And we're going to do a save as, so we can do a revision. So instead of version 5, we're going to make this version 6. And we'll be good to go. Bring it to life inside Substance. That's right. We're going to bring it to life inside of Substance Painter next week, though. We're going to call it a day there, guys and girls. I do want to thank you, though, very much for being here, for hanging out with me. I want to thank Modboy for the follow, Consumi for following, Nanocat for following. Again, I want to thank Hellforge for hosting the channel, and I want to thank Contigi very much again for the subscription. So thank you, Contigi. I'll be live again on Monday next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You guys and girls, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all again on Monday next week. See you guys.